Hi, it's Gary. Welcome to today's video. So today we're going to take a look at the pens I'm going to be using during September of 2025. This month's theme, piston-filled pens. The pens, they're going to be stored in this during the month. This is my A5 folio. Absolutely love this. So join me now, down on the table. Let's jump on in and take a look at the pens. Welcome down to the table. September 2025, my piston pen month. So these are all pens that have got a piston filler. Let's jump on in and start to look at them. Just going to turn the page around slightly, just make it easier for me to write. So we're going to fetch these out in price order, which is what I normally do anyway. So the first pen from Asvine. This is the Asvine P20. I love the colouring of this. I believe it's called Starry Night. There we go, just slowly twisting this around for you so you can hopefully get to see that. Really is nice, and the way it shines in this light. We've got an ink window. It's a little bit on the small side, but it's usable. So here obviously is the piston mechanism. Here we've got the nib. This is an Asvine nib, so this is a steel nib. In the hand, fits quite nicely. I wouldn't recommend posting because it posts just here, just below that piston mechanism. In fact, I've got to be honest, I wouldn't recommend posting all of today's pens. It's still nice though. It's a really comfy pen. So let's write. The nib on here is a medium. Price-wise, here you're looking at approximately 44 Aussie dollars. The ink, Neptune Occultation. So this is a really nice blue ink. It's got a nice red sheen to it as well. Drying times, here's immediate. 10 seconds. 30 seconds. Finally, 1 minute. There we go. After a minute there, that one's nice and dry. So nice combination for note taking. Not the fastest dryer, obviously, but fast enough for what I would be using it for. So that's the Asvine P20. Next up, we've got a brand new pen to me. This is from TWSBI. This is a TWSBI Eco. I've got loads of Ecos, but this particular one is brand new. And this one has got a broad nib. So this actually completes my collection of TWSBI nibs, of all the extra fine through to 1.1 in the Echos or Ecos. Love the transparent nature. You can just about, not sure if it'll come over on the camera, see the ink sloshing about in there, so it's fairly full. Here's the nib, so as I say, this is a broad nib. Section on the Eco can sometimes feel a little bit on the thin side, but it's just about usable, so I normally don't have any problems with it. Again, not one I would post, but unposted, again, it's a nice size. Here we're looking approximately 60 Aussie dollars. The ink, Colorverse Pulsar Pulse. So this one, really nice ink, like is it like maybe a turquoisey type colour? Then we do get a bit of pooling on there. Quite enjoy that. I'm interested to see how this goes in this TWSBI nib. Drying times, immediate. 10 seconds. 30 seconds. 1 minute. After a minute there, another one, nice and dry. So very similar in terms of drying times to that first one. So this is the TWSBI Eco. Up next, we've got from China, from Winsung, the Winsung 698. So this is, it's like a transparent black. One of the downsides, I struggled to see the ink level in there. Really can't see anything through this material. It's just a bit too dark. Here we've got a gold nib. There's two versions of this. You can get one version with a steel, and then you can get a version with this gold nib. So this is 14 karat gold. I've had to reposition this a couple of times. Depending on how I get positioned on the feed, I get problems with writing, but at the moment it seems fine. To work this mechanism, this is slightly different than the others. So you can't twist the end knob here, it's locked. You pull it out, that unlocks it, you can then twist it, which I'm not going to do. Then when you've done filling, you just push that down, that clicks into place, and there you've got it. So I do like that idea. Again, not really a posting pen, as you can see. In the hand, nice length. Section does feel a little bit on the thin side, about the same width as the TWSBI Eco, I would say. So let's write with this. This is a very, very bouncy nib. There's also a lot of audible feedback. Hopefully, well, the mic should have picked that all up. Price-wise, you're looking at about 92 Aussie dollars because of the gold nib. The steel nibbed version is a lot cheaper. The ink, is by Diamine and it's Spruce. So this is a scented ink. Not really getting a lot of that scent at the moment. It's also a sheening ink, so as it dries, we get a nice sheen to it. So you get a bit of character there in your writing, as well as the line character because of the nib being so bouncy. Drying times, here's immediate. 10 seconds. 30 seconds. Nearly dry there at 30 seconds. For completeness, 1 minute. There we are now. That's really dry. So that was the Winsung 698. That completes my pens under 150 Aussie dollars. Just dropping in to interrupt your regular programming. Would you like to help support the channel? If so, please consider joining as a member. As a member, you'll get early access to my videos. I normally upload them a couple of days before they go out, and as soon as they're uploaded, they'll be released to members. There'll also be a shout out at the end of the videos, and then as we get the members coming in, we'll actually chat among ourselves and work out what other perks, what other things you'd like me to add in. You know, would you like maybe a monthly live chat just for members? All down to us. So please, if you can, consider joining the channel. A link will be in the description down below. We're now going to take a look at the pens over 150 Aussie dollars. We start with a pen from Italy. So this is by Delta, and it's the Delta Dune or Delta Dune. The colour there, this is called Reflex. We do have an ink window. It's coloured blue, so I do struggle to actually see ink levels through this. Sometimes if I can get the light right on it, I can just about see it, but that doesn't really matter because I think the pen's really interesting in the way it looks. And there we go, Reflex, and this was number 477. I like the section, it's a nice width, it's nice and comfortable. The way it's shaped, my fingers just sit there nicely. I hold my pens down near the bottom, so this is just about right for me. There we go. That's the length of it. Will it post? Yeah, it actually posts really well. So you could potentially, if you wanted to, post this. It posts right the way down to there. But unposted, I find it really comfortable anyway. Here we've got a nib. I believe it's made by Yoho, but then it's got the branding there for Delta on it. Price for this pen, you're looking approximately 235 Aussie dollars. The ink, Diamine Vibe. I've had a number of issues here when I'm doing my Ds, which is interesting. I'll have to keep an eye on that during the month. This Diamine Vibe, it's an extreme sheen ink, really nice. Drying times, that's immediate. 10 seconds. 30 seconds. Finally, 1 minute. After a minute, this one's still getting some smudging. Gonna have to keep an eye on these Ds, and I did see them there when I was doing my 10 seconds. There seemed to be a bit of a hard start, so something to watch out for during the month. So that's the Delta Dune. Let's move this up ever so slightly. There we go. Next pen from Germany. We've got the Lamy 2000. This has been around since the 60s, I think, this design. It's macrolon, so that's fiberglass mixed in with resin. It's so well engineered. If we're looking at this now, I'm going to try and hold this up to the camera for you. You can hardly see the join. It's just about there. So if I slightly turn it, now you can see the join. But if I screw it back down, you can't see that join between the piston mechanism and the body. The cap pulls off. It's got these little nubbins. So if you take the nib off, you've got to be careful that you don't lose these nubbins. Otherwise, your cap will no longer work. We've got a tiny little ink window. My eyesight, I struggled with it, but it's there if you're able to see that. So what I actually do when I want to check the ink on this is I get out my loupe so I can actually look through that and see it slightly with a bit more width. We come down into this steel section, which is brushed. I'm assuming steel, might be aluminium, but it's a steelish type colour. And then at the bottom of there, we've got a 14 karat gold nib. We go. It's mainly hidden, so if you want to get in and change it, you have to take the whole section off. As I say, do not lose a nubbin. Then you can take it out and give it a really good clean. Or if you've got them, change it for another nib that would fit through there. Unposted, very nice. Posted, again, not too bad. Does feel back heavy to me. But it posts down to here, so it's not too bad. I still wouldn't recommend posting this. So let's write. So we've got broad 14 karat nib. The thing with these Lamy nibs, they do write with a bit of a stub character. So here's going down. Here's going across. So you can see a little bit of a stubbish nature, which I think is nice because it adds extra character to the writing. Price-wise, you're looking approximately 340 Aussie dollars. The ink, Colorverse Aquarius Whispers. Really nice colour this. It's in the green family, but it's not a green, if that doesn't sound too weird. Quite nice though. This nib, very, very smooth. Drying times is immediate. 10 seconds. Look at that. 10 seconds, nearly dry. 30 seconds. 30 seconds, that's dry. Very quick drying combo. This is going to be awesome for taking notes. The paper, by the way, this is Oxford Optic paper, which is a really nice fountain pen friendly paper. So that's a Lamy 2000. The last pen, going back to Italy for the Leonardo Momento Zero Grande. The first expensive pen that I bought. This is dark Hawaii. Really like the colouring of this. We've got blues, we've got browns. Piston filler, obviously, but no ink window. This is the original variant of the Grande, so there's no ink window on this. That's one of the things that lets it down. I never know how much ink I've got in here, and quite often I can be sat there writing away and it just stops because it's run out of ink. We've got a number 6 size nib. Here we go. Again, made by Yoho and then branded for Leonardo. I love the section on this. I know they've changed it now, which is such a shame because for me, holding my pens down low like I do, this is just perfect. My fingers just sit there so nicely. So unposted, can post, but only to here, so I wouldn't recommend it. But it's long enough to use unposted. Let's write. So this is a medium steel nib. Love the way this sounds. I've put MZ for Momento 0. Price-wise, here you're looking at approximately 377 Aussie dollars. The ink. Diamine Early Dusk. I'm hoping the mic is picking this up. It sounds so nice when I'm writing with this. Drying times. So here's immediate. 10 seconds. 30 seconds. Wow. Teeniest of tiny smudges, but 30 seconds, that's dry. So I'm not even going to bother with the 1 minute test. So that's the Leonardo Momento 0 Grande. Let's swap over and take a final look at each pen. This month, the pens are going to live in this. This is my Galen Leather A5 Folio. Got my initials on there. As you can see, this crazy horse green leather. As I've used it over the years, it's starting to really show some age, and I really love the way that it looks. So let's pop it like, no, we can't. There we go. I'm just trying to get this on so we can see the pens as they go in. So the first pen, the Asvine P20 with Colorverse Neptune Occultation. Pen number 2, the TWSBI Eco with Colorverse Pulsar Pulse. Pen 3 from Wingsun, the Wingsun 698 with Diamine Spruce and a 14 karat gold nib. We've then got from Delta the Dune with Diamine Vibe. The Lamy 2000 with Colorverse Aquarius Whispers. Then the final pen, the Leonardo Momento 0 Grande with Diamine Early Dusk. Let's pop that in and zip this up. And that's it. My pens that I'm going to be using or starting off the month with of September 2025, my Piston pen month. I hope you've enjoyed today's video. So what pens are you using this month? How do you decide on them? Do you have like the idea of a theme? Do you have a criteria? Please drop your comments down below. Let's kickstart the conversation. Please hit the thumbs up button. Every time you like, every time you comment, just helps with the YouTube algorithm. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel so that you can get new videos as I release them. I'll talk to you again soon.